Hi, I'm John Boys with Nicola Logworks out of Merritt. We're here at the grand opening of this wonderful structure, and we were really pleased to have a significant part in it. There were several architects worked on it. There were 4 different architects that we dealt with.
Oh. What inspired the design of this building plan?
Well, you know, I think the circular shape, the low-pitch roof, the logs protruding to an open center, you know, is inspired by the traditional pit house or kikuli, or I'm not sure the pronunciation on that. So that would be the inspiration of it. Having it climb up this ramp, you know, added a whole other level of geometry to it, and complexity, and it, you know, the ramp has some meaning in it also, in it sort of climbing up. But I'm not the right guy to comment on that. I don't think exactly what
the mythological dimension of
the meaning of the, you know, of having it come up this ramp that is sort of continuous and then returns back down again. It's sort of continuous loop. Sounds significant. Yeah. I'm sure it has some meaning.
Was it a project you enjoyed?
We had a hoot with this project. This was a lot of fun. It was, you know, it was challenging. The design team that was involved in it, you know, was open to suggestions and ideas. When we were able to 3D model it, you know, then all of a sudden they could see what it was going to look like. Because up until that point, they'd just drawn it in 2D and didn't fully understand how the geometry worked. But when we first looked at the plan, we thought, oh boy, this is going to be really tough to build, and we did some preliminary pricing. Once we modeled it and looked at how it went together, we actually realized it was quite a bit simpler structure than it appeared, because all of these elements are just actually repeats of the other. The twist in the roof really wasn't that difficult to deal with. I mean, we scratched our head over it and then realized, no, it isn't going to be that difficult to fabricate. So it was simpler than it first appeared. But it you know, it ended up with really clean lines to it. I really like the effect of this roof panel. It's laminated, which is basically just 2x4s and 2x6s face nailed to each other alternately to create this staggered roof, which has some acoustic effect and visual on the look of it. And also very strong. You know, it's quite a strong panel that's spanning that whole distance and can take all the loads imposed on it. It's great to be here and see it being used, and, you know, people milling around in it and looking at it and feeling it. And hopefully it gets used a lot. It becomes an important part of the community.
Well, it looks like it's going to be generally open year round.
It is. Yeah. You're not. This is accessible and open anytime. They're not trying to restrict access to it in any way. There'll be times of the year where the wind will howl through this, where you won't want to be in here.
Yeah.
Middle of winter, my guess is this is a fairly chilly structure in here, but they have put heat lamps all the way around.
I see that.
To keep the audience warm. And the center, actually, that's a big fire pit that just lifts out, and you've got a large fire pit under that.
Oh,
plate.
Wow!
That was an outfit actually out of Salmon Arm that did all the metal fabrication, had them integrated. So they were pretty creative with what they did on some of this.
I see the mandala from the poster down there.
Yes,
depicted on there.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a big giant laser burn table, so they're able to put pieces in and cut very accurately, very complex shapes in it.
Wow. So what's your take on the historical dimension of this event? I mean, I don't expect you to be an expert on that, but you know, you must have thought about it. You being the main engineer here.
Well, not the main engineer, the main builder.
Okay.
I mean, the historical aspect of this, I think I'm about to find out today exactly what that is. I hope that's what we're going to discover today. You know, it's the Interior Allied Tribes Memorial Center is what it was.
Yes, thanks, Dave. We're good to go.
Is what the name of it was originally, and it's has a lot to do with bringing people together, and the process of reconciliation is a strong theme in this, and I think we're going to see elements of that.
Well, we're certainly bringing people together here.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like we're a really good crowd. We mostly came for the Bannock.